Okay, so the Archon quest starts right here. He wants me to rub his belly. I'm rubbing his belly, you can't tell. He's purring. Pretty boy. Sorry, guys. Cat is a distraction. So this Archon quest is like 4 hours long, for real? I'm nervous. They need to add emotes into this game so I can dance. I'm starting.
Good old caravan rebot. Now let Paimon think. What were we up to the first time we came here? Oh, Paimon remembers. Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor. But we followed the clues she left behind to help her.
Oh, thank you for the summary.
We somehow always find ourselves right in the thick of it. Who knows what will happen next? Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble.
I was just thinking that you might be the problem, Paimon.
Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble.
Next stop, Fontaine. I've already been there.
Who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Dia.
Yeah. Since when are we just wandering around?
We're preparing to leave Sumeru and head to Fontaine. Who is this?
Huh? You serious?
We'll leave as soon as we finish a few more preparations.
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few dishes in Sumeru that Paimon hasn't tried yet. Now, where's that list Paimon made? By the way, should we go say bye to Nahita?
I love this song, sorry. I need to go say goodbye to Alhaitham. Bye, Dia.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru.
I thought we were gonna say goodbye a little bit more, to be honest. Hello? Oh, okay. Sorry. I just go like this, I guess? I don't know.
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it. Oh, this must be Fontaine's pool.
I should have just done the Archon quest first.
Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine.
I've been here.
Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines.
So I heard. And it's about what I imagined. See, I'm gonna say it's even more impressive than I expected.
Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think?
Let's start by meeting the Hydro Archon. We're gonna start with that?
Nahita gave us loads of useful information.
There's a girl over there. She's been standing alone for quite some time.
Huh.
Oh!
Maybe something's the matter.
Lynette!
She isn't going to jump into the water, is she?
Well, maybe she likes to swim.
Hello there. Excuse me. Are you alright?
Huh? I'm fine. Thanks. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. See?
You're pointing at the sea. Wait, are you saying that you and your brother lived in the water?
Maybe they're
No
mermaids?
people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now it's been completely submerged.
Oh.
He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. The sun shone brightly, and the air was filled with the scent of the sea. But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it swallows us.
This is really dark already. What?
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our
Lyney?
childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Oh,
Riku!
allow me to introduce myself.
I didn't know we were gonna meet them so
I'm
soon!
Lyney, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
I wanna see them
We were
perform.
just talking with your sister. Even though we didn't really get what she was saying.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason.
There's hardly anything left for me to say with you around, Paimon, because you always steal my lines.
So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at
Oh
times.
shoot.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said that the water is engulfing your memories? And that it won't be long before it engulfs you too?
Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted each other yet, have we?
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler.
Hello, Lyney. Yeah.
And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please, follow me.
I can't believe we're gonna see Child soon. I'm still shocked. You guys walk kind of slow.
This is long overdue.
I didn't mean to do that.
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
Oh, really? Oh, I remember her. From the trailer. She has a gun, right? This is quite an entrance.
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers
She's really cute.
have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
How does she know?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you left in your wake as you visited other nations, but I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you personally. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip. Now, you may rejoice in this.
Well, finding the Archon was easy enough.
Yeah. Paimon still can't believe it.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony still isn't enough? What else should I say then?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Why is the traveler so ready? Fighting gods? I've got a resume.
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Few have the courage to draw their sword against a god. She is obviously a true warrior. Then, as the god of justice, I shall face this traveler in another kind of duel. A duel in court!
We're going to court? We didn't even do anything.
Now that'll be worth seeing.
We haven't committed any crimes. We literally just arrived here.
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. It's obvious, isn't it?
No.
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month. You are clearly guilty of violating this law.
Is she talking about Paimon?
You mean Paimon?
Precisely!
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. But if you would allow me to interject, I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
Yeah, she's not an object.
Tell her, Lyney.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving the show. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a trick for everyone.
Ooh. Oh, cool.
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did you do that?
Ah, when Lyney patted you on the back.
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon.
Amusing. Very amusing, Lyney. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Performance? You see all this as a performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person.
Okay, well, thank you.
But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands.
What is that supposed to mean?
I look forward to seeing
Uh-oh.
your upcoming
Venti.
performance at the Opera House, Mr. Lyney and Miss Lynette. That's enough for now. Toodaloo!
Venti gonna get arrested for drinking too much.
And just like that, she's gone. Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen.
Thanks for bailing us out, Lyney.
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god Lady Farina is?
She can be a bit confusing at times.
Very dramatic.
But she is still amenable to reason.
Confusing is a good way to put it.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Lyney. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
Paimon had no
I just know
idea,
a few
but he's
simple
wearing a
tricks I'm
magician
used to with
hat.
the living. Might I invite the two of you to see my performance?
My brother's always excited to make new friends.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
I would be delighted.
Splendid. This is a magical item known as a magic pocket. Perhaps you can help me distribute them to the people here.
Magic pot. Ooh. This is cool.
You asked me before about the prophecy, right? Let me start by telling you a little more about what it entails. I'm not sure exactly when it began, but a prophecy has been circulating around Fontaine. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne.
That is so dark.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't it be better just to ignore the prophecy completely? Why bother feeling guilty all the time?
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started rising.
But now the water is engulfing our memories. It won't be long before it engulfs us.
Many places have already been completely submerged, and now lie beneath the sea.
That's
Many
really...
people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them.
They're like, oh, hey, welcome to Fontaine. We're gonna die soon because we're gonna all drown.
I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true,
Take the
it's
pocket.
still gonna be a long time before the water can cover everything.
Take it.
You already handed out all of the magic pockets?
Yep.
That was fast. So, what did people have to say? I bet you heard some interesting opinions.
No kidding.
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. I've also finished collecting a few here. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
That sounded so
No,
passive-aggressive.
I'm in power saving mode today.
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong with her? Paimon didn't notice anything.
She's obviously a thief.
Oh. Oh. You're going on trial, honey.
He's right.
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps we should split up.
This is the spot where Lyney wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her?
Get ready to stop her. Time to make the arrest. Why are we being cops?
Oh no! Did she notice us? She started running the other direction. What should we do? Should we chase her?
The rest is up to Lyney.
You're right. She might also be trying to lure us away.
You wait, but there's no sign of the thief.
Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Lyney caught the thief.
I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it wasn't a complete failure.
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all right in the end, though. Lyney's initiative paid off.
All right, let's put this little detour behind us. We should go to the court of Fontaine now.
Yay. Oh, Paimon. That was so graceful. Oh my. She's doing flips?
So, we ride this thing to go into the city?
This is an aqua bus. It allows people to travel between several key locations around Fontaine.
Yep.
It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always the same. That's why it's better to travel with friends.
So you mean it's still boring even when I'm riding with you?
What?
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
I love the kitty cat. Oh! I saw that. I love her.
Oh, excuse me. Aren't you the great magician Lyney and his assistant Lynette?
Hello. I don't believe we've...
She's so cute.
I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
I want Charlotte so bad.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
So, Charlotte, what do you usually report on?
Well, when there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases, actually. You mean the serial disappearances of young women case? That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen. If I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, and it's the headline story in the Steambird, oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed. Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen.
This music is not fitting for this story at all. What? Why is she talking about it like it's just like a scoop? Like it's just like, oh, it's good. It's just good for her newspaper. That's concerning.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And at the very least, the family of those missing girls deserves some sort of explanation. I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please don't imagine that, Lyney.
You continue talking on the aqua bus. Before you know it, you're arriving at your destination.
Hey, we're almost there! Look!
Never seen this place before. This is so new to me. Ooh, look at that depth of field. Gorgeous. Yeah, this is so exciting, guys. Fontaine for the first time. I've never been here before. Wow.
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this.
Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly.
Ah, I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late.
Okay, Paimon hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte.
Bye, Charlotte. She's so cute. I love when my watch tells me I reached my stand goal when I'm not standing.
Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
This is awkward.
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Lyney sure seems to have a big family.
Lyney, could you come here for a moment?
Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Fremine?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
He sounds so sad.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House.
Does that
but
mean
don't
that
worry,
Fiorina
it'll
is
clear up soon
crying?
enough.
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine.
Oh.
Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain.
That's
When I
sad.
was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
What if we all say it at the same
Doesn't
time?
seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
After some time, the rain stops.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted. And the
Same.
boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
Oh.
Oh, don't worry, we're on the case.
I understand.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
She's the talkative one, huh?
No, we're just here to deliver some materials. Hey, is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology. And wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you. But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Well, Venti and Nahida both said the gods rely on belief to obtain power.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month?
They look like they
I
work
want
at Home
50%
Depot.
Today. Wait, no. 70%.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first?
What?
If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
You're from...
He's here!
Traveler, time on! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
So we're on good terms, I guess. I thought it was like implied that he ran off to be a bad guy. We sure seem to have run into a lot of friends today.
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
I haven't seen him in so long.
Sure, we want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
I don't mind a little excitement every now and then.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
I didn't know Child became the manager of Home Depot.
Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your friend?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said,
Hey, that's way over the line. All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now.
Oh, no.
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients. You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
Okay, sure.
I'm sure this won't take long.
Oh my god! I love this music.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
Stop. I missed. So did you. This is so weird.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait, don't tell me you're...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it?
He's angry.
Huh?
Now's my chance.
What?
Huh. That was weird.
That is weird. Are you feeling all right?
I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers.
Oh,
when
it
I
might have
needed
something
them.
to do with because we're by the
Maybe
Hydro
there's something
Archon.
wrong with my vision?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
You'd better not use your delusion too often.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see its work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that?
So about this power, do you have any idea where it came from?
I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it?
Who is Skirk?
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers.
Yeah, do you remember that,
It
child?
takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be.
It's so nice to see
I
him
should get
again.
going.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court.
Oh, it's so
they're given
pretty.
one chance to defend their honor by requesting a
What the
duel
heck?
with an official champion duelist. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clarend, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally
Did you
agreed
guys
to
hear
face me
that?
today.
That was so loud.
Child for ya.
Someone was
We
zooming
heard that name somewhere before. Clorand.
when we met the Hydro Archon.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision?
Huh?
You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
Later.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon.
Paimon, sometimes people don't show when they're
If he got much to
depressed.
do for now.
Paimon have emotional intelligence challenge. Oh, you're depressed, but you don't seem depressed. I want to meet Rio Thessley. So bad.
Now this is fancy. The Opera at Eclairs. What a place to hold a performance.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
Isn't that what he just asked for?
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
What?
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Vache.
Huh? Did you just say something, Paimon?
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Strange. Whose voice was that just now?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
By the way, Lynette, I seem to hear a faint voice just now.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
It seemed as if the voice was coming from the fountain.
You might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences. When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what?
What?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When she's hungry. Offerings to the Fountain of Lucine? Offer the hydro visuals? Oh, it's like the trees.
I knew you two would come.
It's pretty in here.
We wouldn't miss it for the world. We've been looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Whoa!
Ooh, front row seats. Thanks, Lyney.
Whoa. It's so beautiful in here.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
There's no one else here except for this person. This guy. My bad. I made it extra awkward. I was waiting.
Traveler, maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still, it's kinda awkward if we don't say anything.
Isn't that usually your job?
You little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
It's true though.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that?
I like his voice.
Boy, you sure have good ears.
Oh, it's no wonder it's
Your
freaking Ray Chase.
Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So let's talk. But what should we talk about?
This is getting even more awkward.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Thanks, Lyney.
Ah, Mr. Lyney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Ooh, sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work.
I want to
Nearly
pull for
every
him
person
just
has
because
their
of his
usual
voice
reserved
alone.
seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to. There's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
She's so cute.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
God.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
All right, please.
Is
wait
no
just
one
a
else
moment
gonna
longer.
watch?
I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their
Okay,
seats.
I was gonna say. Okay, there we go. It would have been really weird without an audience.
They're dimming the lights. The show must be starting.
I'm so excited.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Lyney. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Why is no one clapping? Why is no one clapping?
everyone.
Why is no one clapping?
A magician's greatest
Oh!
skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless.
Oh, levitation? Okay. This is so good.
But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes.
This is kind of concerning, actually.
It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be
Oh,
getting
this is
very
probably part of the
nervous right
act.
around now. Luckily, Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso
I
can
got
do.
scared. I fell for it. Wait, oh god!
Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
New outfit? Oh, nope, same thing. Wow. Incredible! Magnificent! So talented! Great job. That was such a cool cutscene. I didn't want that to end.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything!
To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has
He's
been
got cool eyes, like cat eyes.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here.
Oh.
The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
It's so cute.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box.
Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lyney have actual superpowers?
Let's watch and
The
see.
lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate.
Sure.
Okay, let's begin.
Sure, Lyney.
Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box.
Was that the—
I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible.
Is that the thief?
You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
There is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
57. 59, oh, 58. 57.
That's right.
56.
Perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
40,
39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9,
What was that noise?
8,
Did you hear it too?
7, 6,
Sure. Anyway,
5,
it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about
4,
it.
3, 2. No! You're wrong! You are all wrong!
What's wrong, Mr. Lyney?
I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds.
No, you don't!
I'm counting.
19!
What?
18! 17!
Almost there now. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5!
4! 3!
Whoops!
2!
That doesn't count!
1! That was totally planned.
Ta-da!
Wow! Oh, this music is so good! So is she in there? Oh!
What happened?
Wait. Was Lyney there? Did you just squash Lyney too?
Mr. Lyney, you're going to use magic to fix
I meant Lynette. I said Lyney. I meant Lynette. I'm overwhelmed. What is...
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough.
This is really sus.
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead.
Huh?
His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Lyney's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience.
Yeah, what?
And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some
where's
mishap in the
Lynette?
performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
Oh my god.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
And to pull it off like this in front of an audience, including the Archon and Chief Justice?
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lyney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Wait, no way.
Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
That can't be right. How can Lyney do this?
I don't think he would do that.
He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
Okay, so I'm so confused because, all right. Well, first of all, obviously I thought the girl from the audience was the one who got crushed. But then there was like, they showed a mask. I don't know whose mask it was, but I'm assuming it was actually Cowell's. But for a second, for some reason, I thought it was Lynette's. But now I'm like, okay, where's Lynette? Because I don't remember where she went. I'm sure they showed it and I just forgot. It's hard to believe all this happened during the show.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, May I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Lyney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
Huh? I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Lyney, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met.
I trust Lyney. I do.
Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Lyney's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
Huh. It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, I would like to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Lyney's attorney and defend him in this case?
Me? Where's Yenfei? Yes, I am.
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Lyney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big-shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
Oh man, this is so interesting. Everyone is dismissed and the audience begins to leave along with Fiorina and Nouvelle.
Lyney!
Okay, there's Lynette. I was worried about her.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer?
No.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not, and I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did.
I almost want to
Even
rewatch
a skilled
the
and
scene.
knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Like, when did Cowl get in the box? Do they show it? Because I didn't notice that. Interesting. Okay. Yes, it is very strange.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
What? Where did you get those glasses?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry. Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
I love it.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self.
Fair.
But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
I won't let you down.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
That's what I was wondering.
Ah, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Lyney.
We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case!
I would love for Paimon to wear those for the rest of the quest. I would. Maybe for the rest of the game even.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I love it. We're Lyney and Lynette's attorneys.
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see.
Okay.
As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it.
But why was Cowl inside?
This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Lyney is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
No. Okay, you can use the case record to confirm your current evidence and clue collection situation and sort case-related information. You can check as yet undiscovered evidence and clues in the case record, then investigate the corresponding area to locate them. I love this. I love mystery games. I love Nancy Drew. I've been wanting to play like a mystery game like Danganronpa. This is awesome. This is so fun.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Lyney didn't realize this was a safety concern, or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I'm just looking at where the rope snapped.
Whoa.
The top?
Look! This bit is made from different material. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
Special rope. What if Lyney really did do it? Like, I'd like to think he didn't, but what if he did? I'm trying to think of like who else it could be. Because as of right now, it's not looking good for Lyney. This music is so good too. So far, like this quest could literally become my favorite because it is it's so good.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too, the way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Oh, okay.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it.
Strange sound during the magic show. During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audience members heard.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lyney and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lyney used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number.
Of course it
every
does.
time. In other words, Lyney knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
This is not looking good for Lyney.
That much checks out. Lyney reserved our seats for us too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lyney.
It is tough because like Lyney was trying to take care of that thief, and I'm pretty sure that girl was the thief. I mean, at least she looked just like her. This is sus.
The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's
Halsey?
a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself.
She was here to sing.
But she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Halsey is the missing person. She's a famous painter and came to watch the magic show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been entangled in quarrels with any of the members of Lyney's magic troupe. Okay, so maybe she isn't the thief. But then what does that have to do with anything? Because that never really got resolved. So I don't... Have you guys ever seen the video of Halsey singing in a mall?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Oh, the pretty girl!
For a while now.
Huh? You mean us?
I'm so bad at remembering names.
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it.
Spina di Rosula.
Navia. Have the honor of being its renowned president.
Oh, she's so cute. Look at her eyes with the little sparkles.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my...
Is she gonna be a 5-star?
Title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No.
Okay, we don't know yet.
You don't have to call me boss.
She's so pretty.
Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so.
So you want to investigate as well?
That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Lyney an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too.
Yeah.
That's why we're looking for clues now.
The evidence doesn't look good for him though, at all.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition.
Okay.
Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Lyney without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she?
No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Melus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Wait! Since when did we become...
Paimon is still wearing the glasses.
Well, I can be the assistant. Sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
I think you're missing the point, Paimon.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lyney's tricks. Thanks!
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Lyney and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on.
What about during the show?
I doubt there was much opportunity then either.
This is such a good quest. Entrances and exits to the Opera House. No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
I love her. I want her.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
I
Yes,
knew it.
A world of secrets
I
is hidden
knew it.
beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick.
Trap door.
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Wait, does that mean there's another box inside this one?
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
This magician is revealing his secrets.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box.
And the passage linked the two boxes together. See, I did say that. I did say that.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley. Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
Then what about your side of the trick?
Right. You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end.
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
Okay, but you opened the door and you were there. Wait, what?
My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
But I thought we saw him.
What about Lynette? Where was she?
I don't get it. Wait.
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Remember the part where right before the countdown was over, he opened the door and he was like, wait, hold on. And then he's saying he was there at the other box since the countdown. I don't understand.
That's how we were able to coordinate Lyney's lines with the assistant. And by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins.
Oh.
All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's
okay,
my
okay.
favorite part of this trick.
Okay.
Only Lynette and I can perform it.
Got it. All right.
And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Lyney and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
We should ask
of course,
Lyney
no
about
need
the
to be so
rigged
strict
number
now.
system.
I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Just because What if the thief, if that really was the thief that got picked, what if the thief actually was the one? I doubt it was her, actually, because she disappeared. Because I was going to say, what if the thief is behind this? But also, why was that number? I don't know. I need to know what happened. I need to know.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lyney didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
Right. And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them?
Paimon!
Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
When did that happen?
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Maybe it was for a trick?
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
What about the vent?
What is this place?
Looks like a vent.
It seems someone could fit through here.
Sus! Red vented.
Could this have been the suspect's escape route? What's this?
Oh.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Lyney
There's all
didn't...
kinds of odds and ends
Whoops.
here.
Lyney didn't mention this earlier.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Dropped hook rope.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Maloose returns.
The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
It would seem so.
The plot thickens.
In other words, the charges are very
Oh,
likely to be
no.
upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
I don't know why that was so funny.
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point.
The camera pan.
Are they providing food?
Oh my god.
Paimon thought it smelled
Macarons, of course.
Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
They look so good.
From the way you have these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. Only 3?
Now I want macarons.
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head.
So are we all just gonna have a slumber party? The trial's the
Alright
next
then.
day, right?
Down to business. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
True.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Oh yeah, like what if Cowl was the one trying to commit a crime, but it backfired on him and he died? Oh, that's a possibility. I didn't think about that. So apart from the twins, we're left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
There's no evidence that this third person even exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowl.
Cowl they said was new to the area, right? And became his assistant. What if Cowl was the person who's been kidnapping girls all this time? And what if Cowl is the reason that the number stopped? Like that, like all the numbers were the same. Or like that girl was gonna sit there. I don't know, for some reason Cowl's getting a little sus and I feel bad disrespecting the dead, but like, I don't know.
deliberately made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup,
But Cowell
she wouldn't
did.
understand the entire trick to pull it off.
I think it's Cowell.
Any motive.
From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Nadia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
Oh, you just took macarons from him.
Reading is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
I want macarons. I remember when macarons first started getting popular
That's it for snack time. I'm going
in
to
the
have
US.
another look around the area.
They were so expensive.
Don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Probability of third person being involved. Neither Cowell nor Halsey had a motive, but after having talked to Navi, the likelihood of a third person being involved seems very low too. I think it was Cowell. I'm so excited!
Now we just need to prepare.
I love this quest. Oh, Paimon looks so funny. You don't even want to look at Paimon?
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Just you wait.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Oh!
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Lyney explain the trick?
Oh God.
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lyney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the
Petting my
magic
cat.
box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Lyney is clearly lying.
They showed you how
There
it's
is
done.
No way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
Ma'am!
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
He doesn't know about the thud? Is it because he was on the other
Could
side?
have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the ostracist's stance on the trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
What?
The House of the Hearth?
Oh. I knew that. They're Fatui? Oh.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the
It doesn't mean they did it.
disappearances were the Fatui.
It does not mean they did it.
Now it all makes sense.
No.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
Objection!
I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
I might have to play Phoenix right after this.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
I've always wanted to play. Lyney and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Lyney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lyney has concealed his identity, this could have all been set up beforehand. No, I don't think it was... Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with the other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. It was Child. I've been a victim of such schemes before. And now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Lyney.
I don't think it's Lyney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
No, I don't think he... No. No! No! Lyney!
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
I mean, he didn't say he did it. He just said that that is true, that he was not in the tunnel and he... No way. Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be discussed.
Is that really necessary?
Yes.
They're already as good as guilty.
Shh.
Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
I genuinely don't think he did it.
So you would stick to Mr. Lyney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so.
What if they were like forced to do
Please,
it? I don't
let me
know.
explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
I don't know, Lyney. You do have a teardrop tattoo, okay?
You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
I believe it. I do.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed? Maybe they went through the vent.
Right. Let's hear your answer first.
He vented.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which
I knew it! He vented! And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room.
Who was it?
That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Hold on.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Oh man, I believe in the facts. I will defend you from these charges.
Okay, thank you.
I believe him!
Giving us a chance.
If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Actually, we already have the key evidence we need. The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
The brief adjournment ends and the nail-biting trial reconvenes.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial.
At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Lyney's perspective.
Oh, loopholes. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Oh, this is so cool.
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey,
No.
which caused the loud thud.
Nope, because he was venting.
He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the Opera House, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound.
You're
Finally,
wrong.
He used the vase to knock her out before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Lyney red-handed. So Lyney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Lyney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
Now, that is a pretty smart conclusion to make, but you're wrong. Objection.
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
No.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description
Oh,
of the
yeah.
events?
The loud sound was from Lyney and... Yeah, it wasn't.
According to Lyney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Lyney knocked Halsey out using the vase and removed her clothes to prevent her from being identified. However, was Lyney really in the tunnel at that time? I mean, that's the same thing as this.
Lyney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Cowell walked in on Lyney, so the latter knocked him out with the vase, leading to the victim's death. The existing evidence indicates that when Lyney returned to the tunnel, the crime had already taken place. I don't know what to put for these ones because they don't really go very well in our favor. Cal walked in on Lyney, so then I feel like it could be this.
Lyney did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
There we go.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Paimon!
When the countdown started, Lyney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored.
Is she still wearing the glasses?
Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Cleared. Thank you, Paimon. That was good. She is still wearing the glasses.
Paimon actually managed to say all that. Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Moreover, I believe the opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
Mm-hmm. The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you said that Cowl bumped into Lyney by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowl hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lyney only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Right.
Oh, they have a point.
Right.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you happen to remember how you refuted Lyney's alibi initially?
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't.
Your claim has also become a critical clue. Okay.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? Paimon thinks there's something off here.
I thought it was like I thought it was like telling me to pick that, and I didn't put thought into it because I thought it was I'm missing a clue. Sure.
That's right. Lyney wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lyney had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has
Look at her!
the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lyney who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Lyney heard a voice. A voice. But I don't know who the murderer was.
The deceased's name is Cowl, Lyney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper
That's
with the
what
equipment.
I've been saying. The only person who could have committed the crime. She wouldn't have been able to really tamper with anything. Like, but also if she's a thief. Man, I'm stressed out. I don't think it's a third person. I think it's Cowl. Oh my god, what if I'm wrong? I'm right! No way.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowl, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowl did and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
I was right! I felt a little disrespectful to the dead. So I was like, maybe it's not Cowell. But I really was starting to feel like the pieces were lining up to it being Cowell. Where did she go? I don't know where she went. That's the thing.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent.
I just don't understand why she would have gone through the vent and how Lyney didn't see her. That's why I'm not picking that. Because I know he heard a voice, but like, I just don't understand. Okay. And what? Wait, what? Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. The strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Lyney was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands, but according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been in full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would be discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go? That's what I'm saying. Oh, so it wasn't my fault. Okay, I felt so stupid. I feel so much better now. Okay, where in the world did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
Huh?
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Magic escaping from the water tank. Could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents. But do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient?
The water is magic?
There's no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Objection! Hold on a second. Where did the missing Halsey go?
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind.
That makes sense. Duh.
If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous.
How? Lynette literally did the same thing.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Lyney already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The
Thank you,
truth
Lyney.
must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
After some time, a guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
Oh, he's scary.
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines.
Scary but hot.
Mr. Lyney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Interesting. The ability to dissolve Fontainians into water. Forever?
I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
Oh.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
Paimon jump scare.
The original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
How scary is it though that something exists that could literally turn the people of Fontaine into water?
Huh. That does make sense.
It does.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Aw.
Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Oh, I love that, like, she's soft inside.
It seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you,
New
Your Honor.
evidence.
We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Lyney's personal effects.
What?
It was planted. It was planted.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
It was planted. He seemed so surprised.
Lyney did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Lyney desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out.
No!
And the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Lyney?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
We need something.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale.
No.
Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move... Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Navia!
I must ask you not to shout and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Lyney, if you would be so kind.
But what in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lyney and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
Oh my god.
But
What a
as
queen.
the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
She can tell us exactly what happened now.
Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl.
I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey.
She's
Lillian,
the thief!
And I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Lyney's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lyney was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief.
I mean, she looks like the thief.
You were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nap me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into
Well,
the
he
box.
was trying to kill her,
There
though.
was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
Oh my god.
I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
So because he was trying to kill her, but because she's from Mondstadt, she didn't die. So technically, she killed him in self-defense. If they're a practiced hand at concealment, probably.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it.
Well,
Had I
he tried to
known
kill
that,
you,
I
and
wouldn't
he's
have put
killed
him in the
many
magic
people,
box.
apparently.
I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
It all makes sense. Now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Objection! Alright. Okay. Evidence proving that a fight did indeed break out. I didn't mean to do that.
The flower vase with...
My bad, my bad. What did Halsey do?
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
Oh, the thump.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
There we go.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Ace Detective! This is such a reference. It makes me really want to play those games now.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Ended! Lillian saved the life of the girl that would have attended the show. True! True!
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under her nose.
How?
About a sneaky thief.
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's
There's really
statements?
nothing you can say at this point. No.
Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add,
His
the
eyes are
trial has
so
not
cool.
yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop.
What a
and hide the
loser.
watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Lyney, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Lyney, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Yeah! We did it! That reminded me of Star Rail. I felt like I was pulling.
As such, Lyney and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Woohoo!
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Lyney's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Lyney, but you, yes?
Vaughn?
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
What?
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
Oh, shoot.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Lyney, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
He turned into water?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
What if Child has...
An outrageous act.
What if Child has something to do with it? Oh!
All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
However, nothing is found in the scene apart from the liquid left behind after Vaughn dissolved.
So, we're just going back now?
The problem seems to have been solved for now.
That's true, But...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Lyney...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me.
I'm really not mad at you.
Still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just didn't wish to see anyone be falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Lyney this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
A knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
Okay.
That's
Got
right.
it.
And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
Villains!
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
Oh my god.
Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Okay, hold on. Has anyone here played Octopath 2? Because the story is so similar to Throne's story.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
The name seems pretty
Today's
bad.
case has also proven that people from Fontaine
Like
can
in the
indeed
trailer?
dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So,
Maybe
from
she's good?
small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you.
It's all right. I understand.
These poor kids.
The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Lyney.
I understand. Goodbye. I think...
Bye, Lyney!
I think the knave is not good, and I think maybe she does care about the kids, Lyney and Lynette, but I don't know.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
Well, I'm sorry, Navia.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Lyney. I wasn't necessarily looking into serial disappearances case.
Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Oh.
Don't say that, Navia.
We should probably help.
And we were having so much fun investigating with you, too.
I love her.
It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Well, if you say so, let's go have a meal then.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
Oh, that was such a good quest. In terms of like fun, that was one of the best quests in the whole game. If not, it was definitely the most creative quest so far in the whole game. I loved it. It was so fun. And I think that the plot twists were really well done. And I think it wasn't like too obvious who it was. You know, you're kind of like, I don't know. And I like how like, you know, you feel like you had it. And then they're like, psych, there's more to it. I don't know. I really liked it.